The July task for Growing Chrysanthemums for Home or Show, the main one is to pinch back your stems on your plants. They're way too long right now, and the blooms will come too early for our October or November shows. In order to pinch them back, I will need my clippers and I will need my scissors. Also, I like to pinch back with the plant on a table, because that way I can easily turn it, I can twist it, I can look underneath it, and I can very clearly see what I'm doing. This is a spider plant named Natalini. I can only have 3 stems growing in a pot, and you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 stems on this flower. So one of these stems has to go. So I'm going to turn the plant around. I'm going to find what I believe are the 3 strongest stems, and I'm going to completely clip off this 4th stem. Right here. That leaves me with only 3 stems. I am ready to pinch back the 3 remaining stems. And what I want is a healthy leaf that is facing outwards. So for this particular stem, I believe it's this leaf right here. So I am going to pinch it back about a 1/4 of an inch above the leaf. I'm not going to do any cutting of the new flower or the new stem that is already growing there. So that's cutting back stem number 1. For this flower, I believe this is a nice strong leaf pointing outwards. I add a slant 1/4 of an inch above it. It's for the 2nd stem. The last stem, I'm looking for a strong, healthy leaf pointing outwards. I think that this is a nice one. I'm going to do about a 1/4 of an inch cut right there. And now I have pinched back this plant. First, I will show you how to pinch back a plant that is a disc bud that will only have 3 stems with 1 bloom at the top of each stem. Every leaf on this plant has new growth. I only want 1 stem to grow. So I'm going to take my scissors and I am going to disc bud the rest of the new growth on this stem. I'm going to put my thumb behind where it is. I'm going to support the leaf, and I'm just going to very carefully do this. And I'm going to go down the stem, and I'm going to do the same thing for all the new growth on this stem. I only want 1 flower to grow. Some of these aren't quite large enough for me to disc bud yet, but when they get big enough, I'm going to do exactly to them what I did here. Now I'm going to show you how to disc bud a plant that is going to be grown as a spray. It will not have just 1 bloom at the top. I will allow up to 11 blooms to grow on 1 stem. This is a class 12 wisp of pink. It is what we call a thistle, and it will grow very mixed and flowery. I want more than 3 stems on this plant because the flowers are quite small, and I want to grow them both. Maybe I'll grow 2 as disc buds and 3 as sprays. So you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stems here, and I only want 5. 3 for sprays and 2 for disc buds. So I'm going to take my clippers, and the very shortest stem I am going to cut off, or I'm going to pinch it back completely off and throw it away. Now that gives me 5 stems left. Okay, the strongest stems I want to grow as sprays. So I need to cut them back because they'll be mature too early if I don't. So I'm going to take the 3 strongest sprays. Okay, so I'm going to take this spray, and I'm going to find a strong leaf facing this direction, and I'm going to clip back about a 1/4 of an inch at a slant. So it looks to me like this would be a good one to do that on. So here we go. So that's the first one. And then the second one is going to be a spray. I think this looks like a nice strong leaf, so I'm going to clip it here. And the third one will be a spray, so I'm going to clip find a leaf that is strong looking. Looks like my strongest looking leaf facing outwards is here. And then I'm going to cut shorter stems for the two that I'm going to grow as a single plant at the top. I'm going to start this one. Well, I'm going to do it here. Then one last one. I think this looks like a good one. It's growing, this is growing straight out, but it's quite far up. I think maybe I'll choose this one. So when these plants get long enough to stake in August, I will choose which two I want to grow as disc buds with just one bloom at the top, and I'll choose the three that I want to grow as sprays. I'll let them, one stem grow very tall on the sprays, and I'll allow 11 blooms on the stem. With the disc buds, I will only allow one bloom to grow at the top.